Hi, my name is Valerie Jin. I'm going to guide you through this drug called Linaclotide, sold under the brand name of Linzess. And it is a cooperative work from two famous pharmaceutical company, Allergan and Ironwood. So let's get started. Linaclotide, as you can see from the formula, the weight, and the structure over here, it is quite big. It is composed of 14 amino acids with six cysteine in total of 3 disulfide bonds. It is amorphous white to off-white powder. It is guanylate cyclase C agonist. So GC/C agonist binds to GC/C receptor. And the side effect has been reported from the trial is that 20% of patients reported they have diarrhea, 7% reported they have abdomen pain, and 6% they have gas after taking the drug. So as you can see over here, we have 3 different linaclotide commercialized package containing 3 different concentrations of the drug. Um, so these three are linked to 2 different indications, IBS/C and CIC. And we're going to talk about the indications and the structure in detail later on. So indications, IBS/C indicating irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, and CIC is chronic idiopathic constipation. The epidemiology in North America is mostly middle-aged women, and the trigger of this disease is short chain carbohydrates and foods and water and also stress. The symptom is abdominal pain and constipation and or diarrhea. The structure significance. So as you can see over here, I've listed out the structure and all the stuff that is competing for GC/C receptor. So UG, uroguanylin, GN, guanylin, these two are small peptides that are in our body. They are used to regulate electrolytes and water transport in intestinal and renal epithelial. So we have to keep as a normal level of these two. They all contain 4 cysteine residues, and they can form in total of 2 intramolecular disulfide bonds. However, ST stands for bacterial heat stable enterotoxin. So as you can see from the name, it is a toxin. It's a bacterial stuff. You can catch it from eating on foods and waters that your body is not used to. It can bind way remarkably to the GC/C receptors than UG and GN because it has 6 cysteine residues in total of forming 3 intramolecular disulfide bonds. So if we are trying to design a drug of linaclotide, we want something that is um, as strong as ST. So we want 3 disulfide bonds. Okay, let's get started to the mechanism of action. As I said before, it is competing for GN, UGN, SC, and it functions as a GC/C agonist. What it does is that the GC/C receptor will first convert GTP into cGMP, so cyclic guanosine monophosphate. Then the cGMP will then activate the protein kinase G2, and this protein kinase G2 will activate the antiport over here. And this particular channel is called cystine fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator, CFTR channel over here. It will secrete chloride and bicarbonate into intestinal lumen. And then these will increase the intestinal fluid and accelerate the transit. So I want to talk about some notes over here. First of all, CGMP, it's a cyclic structure. So if you can see over here, it's a cyclic structure containing phosphodiester bond over here. This particular cyclic structure is not our body used to. Remember, we have GTP, GMP, and GDP, which is something that our body used to handle with. So in order to break this structure, break this cyclic structure, we want PDE get involved. So PDE stands for phosphodiesterase. it will cut the phosphodiester bond over here and forming it to GMP. So our body is used to treat GNP, GDP, and GTP, right? Um, Also, the PKG/2 is not only just triggered the antiport, the CFTR ion channel over here, it will also help downregulate the IL/17, IL/23, and TNF alpha. So D3, as you can see over here, IL stands for interleukin, TNF stands for tumor necrosis factor. These are all related to the to inflammatory stuff. So by downregulating these, we will tell our body to be like calm, it's all right, it's all fine. So it will let this linaclotide to have the effect of anti-inflammatory. Also, and linaclotide will help enhance the mucosal barrier by excreting the chloride and bicarbonate and also causing pro-apoptotic behavior. Let's talk about the pharmacokinetics. How does it work in our body? First, when we're looking through the absorption of linaclotide, it is so minimally absorbed that we have very low bioavailability, which means that all the PK parameters, the pharmacokinetic parameter like Cmax, half life, and these kind of stuff cannot be calculated. The distribution, because we cannot measure the absorption, so we can just theoretically think that it is minimal. On the metabolism, so the linaclotide, as you can see over here, the structure, it will be converted into its active metabolite structure by cutting off the tyrosine moiety over here. So here we can only have we have 13 amino acids as the active metabolite. It will be covered in the GI tract, and then the active metabolite will be converted into smaller peptides and amino acids by proteolytic enzyme. The elimination of linaclotide and its active linaclotide's active metabolite was found in the feces sample about 5% of fasting patients and 30% of the fed patients. And we have no known significant drug interaction, so we can take linaclotide with some other drugs. So let's look at the clinical significance. We have two different indications, so I listed differently, and we have in total 4 trials. However, this particular these trials are only evaluated by patients itself, so it is quite biased. That's why we have the same conditions of trial 1 and 2, same condition for 3 and 4, and we did like each condition 2 times to eliminate the bias. So by looking at the data, so if you can see over here, we have quite significant data over here. We have 12% of patients saying that in the IBS/C indications claiming that they think Linez is working, and 5% claiming placebo is working. So we have a about 7% difference. So and in trial 2 we have about 10% difference. In CIC, the number is a bit higher. In trial 3, we have 17% of difference claiming that the drug is working. And trial 4, we have 10% of difference. So overall, the clinical efficacy is quite high. We know that linaclotide is doing some work. Well, thank you for listening. Here is my reference. Hope this material will help somehow. Let me know if you have any question. Just you can email me anytime or just reply to the reply on the Moodle and I will reply with the answer. Well, thank you for listening.